So in this video, I want to show you exactly how to get clients as an info offer consultant on Instagram. It's a question I get asked a lot. How are you able to get clients, and how did you start by getting clients in this business model specifically, right? If you don't know what info offer consultant is, I'm going to show you exactly what it is and why it's so untapped and why you should get into it right now and nobody's talking about it. But then again, I'm going to show you how to get clients, right? Client acquisition is something that's super, super important for any kind of business, whether it's a service type business, you have an agency, whatever. And Instagram is a good platform. It's used for a lot of different businesses for them to get clients. All the coaches and everything that you see, they all get their clients on Instagram, right? Whether it's through Instagram ads, Instagram content, some do DM, stuff like that. But again, in this video, I'm going to show you how so you can get started and basically sign your client in 30 days. So if you just implement what I'm about to show you and actually put in some kind of effort, that's the problem with a lot of you guys. You don't put in the actual effort. Put in a bit of effort, put a bit of seriousness as well, and you're going to be able to sign your first client in 30 days, basically guaranteed if you actually do what I tell you to do, right? So if you don't know what info offer consulting is, maybe it's the first time on my page or anything, you've never seen it, whatever. It's basically where you consult and help people launch their online offer, right? We all see everybody online selling their online offer. Maybe it's a course, online program, coaching offer. You see them everywhere, mentorship, whatever you want to call it. And basically what you do is you help them with building it, structuring it, helping them with the marketing, helping with the scaling, etc. Right? Similar, if you will, to a IPGA, or maybe you've heard of like growth operating. It is kind of different. This have its differences. I'm going to show you exactly why that is as well. With growth operating, you're taking a rev share and you have to build everything. This is more like consulting where you take like a upfront fee. But then again, you can do rev shares in specific cases, but it is similar, right? You're helping people sell info, which is basically information, right? So you're selling information, you're selling digital products. That's why it's super profitable. That's why a bunch of people want to get into this industry, not only, but make a bunch of money, right? Because you're selling basically information, not selling a physical product. There's no store you have to hold or anything like that, right? That's why it's super, super good to do. So that's what info offer consulting, if you don't know. If you're actually wondering a bit more how the model works, instead of just finding your first client to this video, you can go on my channel. There's going to be other kind of videos. I have a free 25-minute full course on how to actually get started, every single step, and explains a bit more in detail how it is and how to deliver the service. If you don't know how to deliver the service, I'm going to put this in another video on how to deliver the service, but it's actually quite easy as well. People think it's a lot of work and you have to know absolutely everything. You don't, and I'm the living proof of it, right? So for Instagram specifically, why am I talking about Instagram? Because for me, that's how I get my clients. That's how the majority of my clients were signed. I did sign through some through email, stuff like that when I was at the start, but it's not something that I would recommend really. So Instagram is a great way to get clients, right? I still use to this day. I still have people maybe doing some DMs for me, ads and stuff like that, right? So Instagram is really the platform I sign clients. There's a few reasons for that. But in general, Instagram works for any service. I used to find clients before when I had a type of agency with Instagram. It's always been good. It's always been a good platform to sign clients, especially when you're new to business, right? But it works especially for info offer consulting. This is what I want to highlight, especially for this model. I'm going to tell you why exactly. Well, the first reason is that because of what you're doing in info offer consulting, you're reaching out to small accounts. So people who have anywhere from 1 to 5,000 followers. So not only is it their first time getting pitched ever in the business model, about launching their course, about turning what they know into an actual program that they can sell and make a bunch of money without really any huge upfront costs. That's the first time they're getting the DM about that. But it's the first time actually getting a DM pitching them basically whatever. It's their actual, maybe they've gotten a few DMs before, anything like that. Maybe it was for content, whatever. But in general, it's their first time getting a DM. You know how powerful that is? If you're reaching out to someone, to a client, they've never gotten a DM before. That's crazy, right? So that's why it's super good to do it on Instagram. Like I said, they've never been outreached to. So it's their first time getting a cold DM ever, right? You know how powerful that is? Most of the people that right now you're doing with copywriting and stuff like that. I'm a small account. I have maybe 200 something followers on YouTube and a bit on Instagram. And I get DM every single day pitching me like thumbnails or content creation or editing, stuff like that. So imagine the big guys, you're never going to be able to get a client like that. Never, right? That's why it's super important to pick something that's untapped. Then it's helping them make directly money. Like if you're pitching something like content or thumbnails, indirectly it's helping them make money. But this, you're pitching them to build an offer and sell it and make money, right? So not offering a service or something to help them out, but an actual business. Like, hey, I'm going to help you build this business because you have the potential to and actually make a lot of money. That's way more powerful than offering just a little service or a retainer service, right? And like I said, it's an untapped offer. Like you being a consultant for them and helping them with the whole process is very, very untapped. There isn't much offer consultants, right? Maybe there's people, reaching out to big creators as a growth operator, stuff like that, of course. And that's pretty, no, I wouldn't say saturated, but people don't take you seriously anymore, right? But in the case of info offer consultants, really consultants that can help them out with the whole process and things like that, there isn't much, right? So all these things, right, that you see here pretty much lead to this, that you're going to have way more, well, they're going to be way more likely to respond and also be interested in whatever you're offering. And that's key, because you can take a good service like copywriting. I'm not going to say copywriting is a bad service. It's a good service, but try to get a client with copywriting. It's going to be very, very hard. Every single person is getting DM for copywriting. I am even, and I'm super, super small, right? And I don't need a copywriting and stuff like that because I just use AI. Like, it's just things like that where it's like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or it's going to be impossible, but it's just like, you have to at least pick something that you have an advantage in. Don't go for a service that nobody's actually going to buy, right? And I just say this from experience, right? So that's first of all, right? But here's proof that I actually have responses on Instagram, because I can tell you about it, but if there's no proof, there's no proof, right? This is just maybe just a fraction of just all the responses I get, right? But the thing is with this is that people are, like I said, people are interested. It's the first time actually getting properly DM. And if you set yourself up with your Instagram and the message and the offer and the value you bring, you're going to completely destroy all the competitors that are even attempting this, right? So just a question of positioning yourself correctly, and then you'll be able to get a bunch of responses like that. I have clients who, well, not clients, I have guys in my mentorship. The first 2 weeks of getting outreach, like they're getting a response or a couple of responses every single day. Like that's the level. Like, there's like, what do I respond to this? And, I got this response and what should I do? And they're asking me obviously questions, but like they're getting responses. Like I know, for different kind of offers, stuff like that, people are sending hundreds of DMs, not even one response. This service, people are getting response because it's like just if you're reaching out to someone who, like, just like a friend or, a friend of a friend, because they don't have a big account. So for them, it's just like, oh, there's just another message. They're definitely going to see it, right? And if you follow them, they're definitely going to see it. They're going to check out your page. That's why it's super important to have the Instagram profile. But anyways, this is the proof, right? As you can see, yes, feel free to share. Can we have a call today? Yeah, go for it. Please share. This guy's hype, put 2 E's at the end. Yeah, go for it. Just a contract, client, obviously. Go for it, sure thing. Stuff like that, right? Saw the video, can we do a call and discuss further details, stuff like that, right? And this is just a fraction. I have a way more. So before you start outreach to get response like this and offer consulting to clients, you have to make sure your profile is optimized. I've went over this in kind of different kind of videos. As you can see, mine is a great, I've been adjusting it a bit for different reasons, but as you can see, you can go on my Instagram if you want, like a clear bio on what you do. Verified is also good. Clear profile picture. Highlights are optimized, having at least 9 pieces of content, reels as well, things like that, right? These are all things that are important to be able to, when someone lands on your profile, they're like, okay, this guy's an actual guy. It doesn't have to be about business. I have me and M4 and stuff like that, but it doesn't have to be that. It just can be like your normal life. Like, people aren't looking for the guy who's like flashy or anything like that, right? I maybe do it, but that's just me, but you don't have to. I have guys who's just like, just posting their real life, and they're getting a bunch of responses, right? I have guys setting up their account, right? Figure out this, and that, the ideal client is just finding their account somehow. I have that as well, right? He didn't even start outreach, and people started DMing him. So it's like, that's the power of doing this, right? So to find potential clients, this is exactly what you do, right? You basically search up the keywords. Now, as an info offer consultant, I didn't tell you this, but you have to obviously pick a certain niche, like type of people you want to help. So I just put an example here as photography, right? Let's say you want to help photographers. I have a guy as well who's doing that. He's doing pretty well. Photography, right? So you're going to find a bunch of these kind of posts and stuff like that. You want to be able to find accounts. These are usually going to be accounts who have like high following or, pictures and stuff that went viral. Trying to find smaller accounts, like I said. So once you find someone, you can basically scroll. You can go on Reels. You can click on hashtags. You can see the accounts that like. You can see the accounts that followed. Like, just be creative with it, and just don't be on the first page like, oh, there's no accounts here. Well, like, do a bit more research, right? Once you find a good account like this guy, for example, you can check followers and following they're going to be people interested in photography, or he's going to follow photography probably. So that's good. You can check suggested account as well. It's going to give you like 20 accounts, every time you click on that single account. So that's really good as well. So do that. And what do you want to actually look for in accounts? This is super, super important. That's what it's going to make or break if you can actually collect money from these people. They have to have a good bio or some kind of a bio that makes sense. Like, this is perfect. He just explains who he is. He has to be a real person. You have to tell, like, okay, this guy's an actual real person. Don't take someone who doesn't have a profile picture and stuff like that. So let's just forget about that. It's just not going to work. A few thousand followers is good. It's not necessary, but it's good. Good at what he does. If he's actually skilled at what he does, you can't, work with a beginner. He's not going to believe he can actually make money. So you convincing him to create a course or create an online program is just not going to work. Make sure he's active. His last post is in the last, like, I'd say like a month, or like 2-3 weeks. And then, like I said, group profile picture. And the reason we want a few thousand followers is that if they have a little bit of following, it most likely means that, they have a high quality account, right? Because people are following them, people are engaging with them, or they have maybe a small brand, right? So it's going to be easier to pitch them on the idea of turning into a business if they do have a few thousand followers. They can even have 10, 20K, right? Maybe that you're going to have a bit more competition for that, but it's still very, very possible, right? We're still looking at small accounts technically. So I know a lot of people ask me, and when people start outreach as well, sometimes they start reaching to people who have number of following. The problem with that, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, stuff like that. You're looking more into like growth operating, where you're like working with creators that like hundreds of thousands of followers. And don't get me wrong, I have clients who have that kind of following, right? And what I do is I have rev shares in them and that kind of stuff. So I do it myself. But what I've realized is that it's way harder to get a client with those kind of revenue numbers, because before they give you money or before they take a rev share, like, there's a lot of thought process behind it. Like, they're leaving their whole brand to someone with a revenue share and stuff like that. So it's a bit more complicated on that regard. They get a lot of DMs. The service is very different. It's done for you versus consulting. It can be profitable. But again, I would recommend just starting out with accounts who have just a few thousand followers. You're going to get way more response. You're going to be able to learn the game. And then once you've learned the game, you can get results. Maybe go to them afterwards, right? So that's after that. And then what do you actually DM? It's super important to offer something for free, something that can give a value. This is what's going to make or break the DM that you're going to send, right? If you're just offering them, pitching them to a call directly, it's going to be hard. So offer something for free. This can be a video, a presentation, whatever. Offering a call, like I said, can be pushy. It can be like, when I say a video, I mean, it could be like a video presentation similar to this. It could be like a PowerPoint that you show with slides and everything. Just make it custom to them. And offering a call can just be pushy, unfortunately, because they don't know about you. They know what you can offer. You just have to show them the idea. Once they're interested in the idea, say, obviously now I can get you on a call. And these are the things I commonly see to avoid DMs. Don't send long messages. If I ever get a DM like this, I'm never going to respond. What is that? It was super long. It makes absolutely no sense, Or even worse, probably, sounding like a bot or an agency. Like, hey, I came across profile. Hey, Adam. And then sometimes they say my full name. Hey, Adam Legris, I love your content. Like, you don't love my content. You don't give a shit about my content. You just want to pitch me something. So don't say that. That's corny. Hey, I would love to share an idea. Don't say that as well, okay? Just don't do it. Just be clear with your intentions, or just be low key, because or else people are going to see through it, right? So after that, what you want to do in the DMs, you want to show them the asset with the CTA. So I'm not going to give you the exact scripts. This is something I give to my mentorship guys, on the exact scripts for them specifically on what they should DM. But just let you know, my script absolutely get responses. Like, because you're clear, because you know what you're doing, you're good profile optimized, which is all things I help with. The second you send a DM, they're definitely going to be like, at least they want to see the video. They want to see what you have to offer. And that's just the first point. Then you send them the video. They're going to watch, a few minutes of you talking about it. They're going to get hooked for sure, right? So you send them asset with the CTA at the end, which is like, book a call if you want to learn more, if you want me to show you exactly how it can help. Put them a call and then close them for $2,000 to $4,000 up front. This is the beauty of this model. You can charge up front because nobody's doing it. You can help them with the whole process. It's in demand. People know they're going to make money. If you try to, sell something for 4K and it's thumbnails or it's video creation, you're going to be like, what's the ROI on this? But if you're helping them build a course where they can sell for, 500, 1,000, 2,000, then the ROI is there, right? They just have to sell one or two guys or girls in their program, and they can make the money that they paid you. So it makes sense for them, right? And again, to show you proof that I actually do this, I mean, this is results I've been able to get. You know, people that pay me $4,000. This was in February, $4,000 here in April, in March 2,000, 4,000. I'm skipping some, obviously, right? This is not just what I've made. 2,800, 1,500, and as you can see, emails as well from wires that I've been able to get, right? So I actually do this. I actually sign clients through this, and it's so untapped. That's why I'm showing you this. To be able to, for you to actually get started on this, because again, it is really, really good business model. Not a lot of people are talking about, right? So if you're watching this video, kind of maybe want to start and you're interested in getting actual my help to be able to start as an info offer consultant, I want you to DM me mentorship on Instagram. That's basically just in the bio. If you could look at the first link in the bio, you'll be able to click on my Instagram. Just DM me mentorship. And I'm going to see basically just if you're a good fit to be able to work with me. I can actually help you out, I guarantee, to be able to, pretty much sign your client in the first 30 days. I've done it with others as well. So if you're actually interested, and not only interested, but actually serious, I'm not going to take guys who are just like going to do half the work. That's just not even going to work for me. So if you're actually serious in starting this kind of business model, you've tried a few other business models, not worked, you're kind of lost on what to do, this might be it. Because I know for me, it was. I tried a lot of things. This was it for me. So again, if you're interested, DM me a mentorship on Instagram. We're just gonna have a quick chat. I'm gonna see if you can qualify for what I do and if I can actually help you out. And then perfect, we can potentially work together and then see afterwards what we're gonna do. All right. So DM me a mentorship, and we'll talk soon.